We have the 5 out of 5 stars for employability in the QS World Rankings.
Nice.
One of the reasons for this is strong reputation with industry, career support that we provide our students. So we actually have an on-campus recruitment service, which gives employers a really easy way to access the talent pool that is graduating from AUT.
Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coffee Chat with Adam. I have my coffee right here. Samantha, do you have your coffee with you?
I have my tea with me, yes.
Tea is even better than coffee sometimes, you know?
It is.
Yeah. So today is another episode of Coffee Chat with Adam, and I'm joined today by Samantha Crittenden from Auckland University of Technology, AUT. So Samantha, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. How are you going?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's kind of cold here in Sweden now. It's getting colder and colder. But I know the weather is great over there, right? In New Zealand.
I can imagine. Yeah, we're getting into summer season here now, so it's actually pretty warm. You can have a quick look out the window. It's a little bit overcast, but it's supposed to be about 25 degrees at midday, so should be nice. I'm here in my t-shirt.
Nice. I'm actually kind of cold. I'm wearing like pajamas and like my suit. Feeling. Anyway, so today we're going to be learning more about Auckland University of Technology. So we're going to be going some really nice details about the location, the ranking, the faculties, and also teaching methodology the university uses, as well as learn about the scholarships that are available to you, and also the NCUK requirements, and more things. So stay tuned for those. And I'm just going to get straight into it. So I will ask Samantha the very first question that I always ask on the show, and it's just, I would like to know more about Samantha herself. So Samantha, could you please give us a quick introduction about yourself, your position at the university, and some of the duties that come along with that position?
Sure. So my name is Samantha. Most people call me Sam for short, and I am the Regional Manager for Southeast Asia here at AUT. So I'm actually originally from the UK. I've been living and working in New Zealand for about 8 or 9 years, and the whole time I've been working in the university sector. In my current role, I support students from Southeast Asia to make decisions about what they want to study and where they want to study.
Nice. Good to know. So Sam, could you please tell us more about the university, so about AUT, some of the history points or insights that I don't know about, and some of the unique aspects of the university that we would like to learn more about?
Sure. So AUT is based in Auckland, in New Zealand. There's only 8 universities in New Zealand, and we are based in Auckland, which is New Zealand's largest city. It's the most culturally diverse city. So although we're not the capital, we are sort of the hub of commerce and the hub of business and everything. So we are New Zealand's second largest university. We have 29,000 students, of which 6,000 are international, and they come from over 140 different countries. So that kind of cultural diversity in Auckland is reflected in the student body here at AUT. So we are New Zealand's only University of Technology. So we're kind of known for our modern, innovative teaching, combining practical experience with theory. We have a strong focus on work-integrated learning, employability. The ethos of AUT is to create great graduates. And because of all that, we're ranked in the top 1% of universities globally by Times Higher.
Wow. I did not know about the ranking. That's actually really nice. Well done. Good for the university. So you did mention something about the work-integrated learning that's part of the teaching methodology the university uses. Could you please give us more information about that?
Sure. So as we are New Zealand's youngest university, so we have that kind of, I guess, we're not so much an old-fashioned like research-heavy institution. We do have that real focus on the practical experience that students get. So 93% of our undergraduate students will complete a work placement or internship as a part of their degree. It's a really strong focus of our programs. So, for example, our Bachelor of Business degree is 3 years long, and in the final semester, students will complete their cooperative education course, which is what we call it, which allows them to develop their professional practice and apply the theories that they've learned throughout the first 2 years into the workplace. So they spend about 9 weeks on placement in their third year.
9 weeks, that's actually quite long.
Yeah,
time.
Obviously that's our Bachelor of Business program, so that's just an example, but that's all for a lot of our different programs.
Right. So does that mean actually so on average, the duration for one bachelor degree takes about 3 years, you said? But if they take the placement offer, then it takes... But if they take the placement offer, is it increasing the duration of the program, or does it just...
So they're all built into the program. So most of the bachelor's degrees in New Zealand are 3 to 4 years. Mainly they're 3 years. The 4-year ones are normally to meet a professional accreditation, like therapy or engineering, those kind of things. But yep, they're all built into the program. Right.
Okay. That's actually good to know. I'd like to delve more into details about the bachelor degrees a bit later, but first I would like to learn more about the NCUK requirements, because as you know, the audience are watching. So Sam, I'm going to call you Sam since you said that majority of people call you Sam, so I hope that's okay. What are the NCUK requirements? And we're looking at the subject streams as well as the EAP.
So we're mainly looking for a minimum entry requirement of 3 Cs or 96 points with an EAP overall C. So that will get you guaranteed entry into most of our undergraduate programs. So if you admission to New Zealand universities is comparatively easier than you might find in other study destinations. So essentially, for most programs, if you meet that grade, you will be guaranteed an offer of place.
That's actually really nice. I always like to hear the CCC because it's so easy to, first of all, remember, and also, and also it's actually quite achievable by students. But of course, the CCC is the minimum requirement, okay?
Yes.
So of course, our students will be aiming higher. We're expecting a Bs or As, so more competitive and outstanding students.
In general, if you get 3 Cs, that'll be your guaranteed entry. That's not to say you shouldn't aim higher than that. Of course, we would recommend that you prepare and do as well as you can.
So good to know. So it's a CCC for the subject streams and an EAPC. And if we use the IFY grades, it's a 96 score. Okay. But I think if the students are considering to apply for scholarships, then grades might come in handy. So higher grades. So I would like to learn more about scholarships that are available at AUT.
Sure. So yes, you're quite right. If you are looking for scholarships, then the higher the grades, the better. So they are excellent scholarships that we award. So they are mainly taking into account academic merit, but they will also look at your personal statement, your references that you would submit as a part of that application. So we actually have 2 scholarships which are specifically for NCUK students. So we have, firstly, we have the NCUK AUT Southeast Asia Excellence Scholarship. Those are worth 10,000 New Zealand dollars, and we have 2 of those available annually. And those are for students to apply for from the ASEAN countries, so including Vietnam. We also have another scholarship, which is the NCUK AUT Global Excellence Scholarship. So those are for students who are not from the ASEAN countries, and they are worth 3,000 New Zealand dollars, and we have 4 of them on offer annually.
Nice. That's actually really generous scholarships, especially the 10,000 one. 10,000 New Zealand dollars is really nice. Yeah. And it's available there are 2 available for that amount. Yeah. Great scholarships.
So we definitely welcome an application if you getting academically strong grades, definitely worth submitting an application.
No doubt about it. I think our Vietnamese students can definitely be applying for those because they're actually outstanding students, and I'm quite happy about that. So I have no worries.
Definitely.
I'm sure.
Welcome applications for scholarships.
Okay. So what I would like to know more about in some more details, I know there are multiple faculties in the university, definitely, but I would like to know more about the Faculty of Business. So what makes the Faculty of Business at AUT more unique?
So we have 5 faculties based here at AUT, and our Faculty of Business, Economics and Law is one of them. So that faculty is AACSB accredited, which puts it in the top 5% of business schools in the world. We are really focused on industry partnerships and making sure that our curriculum is relevant at AUT. So we work with our industry partners to make sure that our curriculum is relevant, it's future focused, and it's providing students with the skills that they need to be successful in their careers. So I think most of our students will be interested in business, in bachelor's programs. So our Bachelor of Business is the most flexible Bachelor of Business in New Zealand. Students are encouraged to take 1 major and 2 different minors. So the major could be your sort of traditional business topics like economics, accounting, finance, marketing, and the minors can be business focused, or they can be in an area of related interest. So it could be things like data analytics or design thinking or event management, sustainability management. So it's quite varied, and we encourage students to get a wide range of different expertise as a part of the program, which makes it a little bit different to other programs. And of course, we've already spoken about the work experience in the final semester, which is not necessarily typical in a Bachelor of Business degree in New Zealand.
I do agree that this is the first time I hear about the work for 9 weeks at the final year. It's actually quite good. It's a good selling point. So actually, you did answer kind of like the next question in somewhat detailed, but I still would like to ask if you did mention that the student chooses 1 major, or the bachelor usually come with 1 major and a choice of 2 minors, you said? So what about if the students would like to choose 2 majors instead of...
That's fine.
That's fine as well. Will that increase the duration of the program, or...
No, so the way it's kind of structured is it's a 3-year program. The main core courses are taken in the first year, and then students sort of move into their chosen study streams in the 2nd and 3rd year. So in New Zealand, you would normally take 4 courses per semester. So you're taking your 24 courses overall as a part of your degree. If you choose to take a major, then that's about 8 of the courses that you would take. If you choose a second major, then that will be another 8 of your courses. Minors are about 4 courses. So it just depends on how you want to structure the degree. You always take the 24. It just depends on how you want to structure it, really. And then there's about 8 core courses as well.
Right. Yeah, because actually I do get this question quite frequently nowadays. It's like, can I do double majors? Or because some students actually come forward and speak with me and say, Adam, like my parents want me to study accounting, but I'm like, I also have some interest in art or some languages or like psychology, and like, can I choose that as a minor as well? And I say, of course. Now we know the answer, of course.
Yes,
it is possible.
There's about 8 different majors that you can choose, and then there's 20 or so minors, and they're all it's in a real variety. If you want to do a minor in hospitality, you can. If you want to do a minor in motion capture, you can.
Nice. Yeah, that's actually giving students, like those students who actually have an ambition and kind of a passion to something, they can actually follow that through the minor. So it's really good to hear that there's options available for students, so they're not restricted to just one. Good. You did touch on the work integrated learning earlier, so I'm not going to go through that in too much details. But something I would like to know more about is, do the students receive support while they're seeking, they're looking for those positions at the work placement? Does the university fully help the student to get that work placement offer, or do the students have to seek or look for those internships or that 9 weeks period that they have to do? Do they have to do the search themselves, or is there like a support done by the career office? Or
so the university will definitely help the students to find the internship opportunity. However, that's not to say if you have something really specific in mind, you are more than welcome to find it yourself. So the internships can be in New Zealand or they can be overseas. So it's really up to the students. So we have 5,000 different industry partners, and they work with us to support our students in their internship, as well as influencing the curriculum that we already spoke about. So most of our students will go to one of those 5,000 industry partners. But yeah, absolutely, if you've got a real passion for something and you want to go to New York and you want to do something with that specific company, we can definitely help you to set that up.
really, like even if they want to go overseas, like they get, wow, that's incredible. I never heard of that kind of support. This is like really nice. Wow.
Yeah, so it's a real focus of AUT is to get the students career ready. So one of our real strengths is in our employability services and in our career services. So yeah, we can definitely support the students with that.
I'm glad to hear that. Definitely, I'm glad. This is going to be so easy for me to talk about, because students always ask me about like, oh, am I going to have to do everything myself? No, you got a lot of support. Okay, and you have 5,000 different. You have a network of 5,000 companies that you can choose from. What about after graduation? So after the student have graduated and now they want to enter the job market. I know that they do have the opportunity to stay for 3 years and work in New Zealand if they want to. Does the university also offer them career service after they graduate as well?
Yes, it does. So we have our employability lab. Students can use that while they're studying, and then they can use it for up to 3 years after they graduate. So we already spoke about the strong sort of focus that we have. So we have the 5 out of 5 stars for employability in the QS World Ranking. One of the reasons for this is strong reputation with industry, career support that we provide our students. So we actually have an on-campus recruitment service, which gives employers a really easy way to access the talent pool that is graduating from AUT. So we essentially have a team that works as a recruitment specialist service. So they link students and alumni with employers, whether it's for internships while you're at uni, part-time work while you're at uni, or graduate roles. I actually had a look this morning. There's currently 21 different jobs being advertised on there for AUT graduates, and our employability team can help students to make sure that their their CV is appropriate for New Zealand, give them job interview tips and stuff. So actually 94% of AUT graduates are in paid work or in further studies within 9 months of completing their program.
That is a really high percentage, by the way.
Yeah,
I think you should be very proud of that. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And I like the idea that you have your own hub, like kind of like a LinkedIn, but it's a much better way of connecting,
it literally acts as a recruitment service. Like I don't know of any other universities that have that.
No, I personally, I've spoken to many universities, and this is the first time I hear about this, honestly. So yeah, well done AUT. I think this is a great tool, because students nowadays are choosing programs and universities based on the career pathway that will be open for them after they graduate from the bachelor's degree. I get this very easy question sometimes, like, can I work in the bank at City X, for example, after I graduate from University X? I'm like, I don't know how to find this information for you, but I can ask for you. The idea is that the mind is like not focusing on the program itself, but it's where I'm going to be able to work after I graduate. And so there's a lot of support for students after they graduate. Perfect.
Yeah.
What I would like to know more about is something that I didn't put in the questions here, so something might be new to you, but I do get this question a lot nowadays. So some students come forward to me and say, Adam, I have this idea in my mind, I have this business idea, and I would like to develop it when I go to the university. Can I get some support, like with my startup company or with my startup idea? Is it possible for me to receive help from the university to develop it further?
Yes, there definitely is. So as we are a tech university, we have quite a lot of focus on innovation, on entrepreneurship. So we have actually a suite of programs that is, if students are really keen on that, we have things like Bachelor of Creative Technology, Master of Creative Technology, which is really focused on allowing students to develop entrepreneurial ideas that they have and being able to experiment with different mediums and different, whether you want to do Internet of Things or whether you want to do motion capture or whether you want to do whatever it is that you want to do, essentially. If students are really keen, I would recommend they take a look at the Bachelor of Creative Technologies. But in general, yes, we do have a service that can help students to patent ideas and to promote ideas. I'm very sorry, off the top of my head, I cannot remember what the name of the department is, but they work a lot with PhD students to patent their ideas and to protect their what's the word called, their IP, so that they work to promote the ideas and to make sure that they are able to market themselves appropriately.
Right.
So yes, there definitely is that kind of service available.
That's good to know. Actually, I think we can find the information on the website as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can definitely link you to it after this.
Nice.
There's some really cool projects that are coming out of AUT, especially, it's mainly PhD students that ask those kind of questions, but they work on a lot of really topical issues to do with health, to do with sciences, in that creative space as well. So yes, definitely.
Nice. It's really good to know that the students can develop ideas like wherever they go, and they can probably even, start their own business there. And it's good to know the support is there. Let me jump to a different topic. I think we talked enough about work and work integrated learning. So something that I would like to know more about is life on campus. Okay, how does living on campus look like? What are some of the clubs and societies that the students can take part in? And also, you did say the university is quite mixed, so there's a lot of local students and international students, so there are plenty opportunities for networking with students as well. So just tell me a little bit about the life on campus.
Sure. So we're actually a city-based university. So we have 3 different campuses. The main one is in the heart of the city centre. I think I showed you earlier. You can see the Sky Tower just over the road from our office. So we have a range of different buildings and faculty based around the city centre. So we already spoke a little bit about Auckland. So it is New Zealand's largest city. So the whole population of New Zealand is only 5 million people. 1.5 million people live in Auckland, and 1 in 3 people that live in Auckland was born overseas. So I was born overseas. Most of my colleagues in our international department were born overseas. So you really get to meet a diverse range of people. And that we already spoke about is reflected in the student body here at AUT. So we really encourage students to get involved in the university community while they're studying with us. You can meet people from all over the world. There's 100 different clubs that you can choose from. So if you want to play basketball, you can. If you want to play football, if you're not so sporty, but you want to get involved in like Japanese society, learn some Japanese, there's Korean club, there's karaoke club. I think there's even a dessert club. So if you're not if you're not language inclined or sports inclined, you can always eat dessert.
That's my club. I'm joining tomorrow. I need it.
So of course we have orientation week and other events on campus. It's a big university, so it has a gym, it has a basketball court, it has New Zealand's leading sports facility with a swimming pool. So Yeah.
Okay, so what about, so Vietnamese, they love, I know Auckland is quite like big city, so like you said, 1.5 million people, and 1 out of 3 people is actually international or was born overseas but living in the city.
Yeah.
So there must be some Vietnamese restaurants or cafe or coffee shops, because I always get the question like, Adam, if I go to New Zealand, will I be able to get some pho? Will I be able to get some Vietnamese coffee? And the answer is
yes, absolutely. You can basically get food from all over the world within a 5-minute walk of where I'm sitting right now.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. There's 2 universities in quite close proximity to each other, so there's a lot of options for cheaper eats, for cheap dinners and stuff. Yes, definitely you can get Vietnamese food.
Nice. Yeah, because this question is always on one of the things that I always get asked, like the last question I always get asked. So that's why I'm asking like before the last question. So it's like, can we get Vietnamese food? Yes, we can. We can get some Vietnamese food.
And you can also try Korean, you can try Brazilian, you can try Ethiopian, whatever you want to get.
Yeah, I agree. Because like you said, it's an international city, so there are a lot of options for you. I'll ask you one final question before I ask you another final question, but not really. The final question is not really a final question. It's more of a curious question that I would like to be answered. But the next question is not really a question. It's more of an advice that you would like to give to our students who are watching the episode today. So before they make their decision to study overseas, and also after they come and study at the university, for example, what advice do you have for our students?
So I think our main advice would be to study hard at NCUK, of course, so get those good grades so that you can apply for the scholarships that we have. Apart from that, I would recommend that you do research New Zealand, research Auckland, so you know what the culture will be like and what to expect from the city when you do arrive. Have a look at our website, have a look through the courses. You can get a lot more information there. You can have a look at what the accommodation and things look like on campus. But I guess probably the main thing would be to put your hand up in class when you come to New Zealand. There is no such thing as a silly question, and it might be a little bit different to what you might be used to from home. But we really encourage students to get involved, to ask questions, to talk to their lecturers, to get involved in class, because that's where you're really going to learn the skills and develop those soft skills that are super important for when you come to look for work after you graduate. I agree with all the points, especially like raising your hands. There's no such thing as a silly question or a question that's ridiculous or whatever, because every question actually has a meaning, and even though you raise the question, you don't know about it, you learn something by receiving an answer. So whatever people judge, they're not going to matter, because you're learning something. Okay, you're the smart person. And the chances are that if you are thinking, there's probably 10 other people in the room that also have the same question and they're too embarrassed to put up their hand.
Sure.
So definitely you can ask questions to all of your teaching staff. They mainly have office hours as well, so that you can pop in and ask them any questions. It's a pretty approachable style in New Zealand.
I like that. I actually like that. I heard like in New Zealand you don't have to call your tutors by their surname or by the title. You can just call them by their name.
Don't.
Yeah.
A little bit more relaxed.
It is. Yeah, I like that more. I did live in the US for some time, so it's you had to be quite formal in universities. Okay. I don't have any more questions, but I do have a question actually. Okay, so I did finish all the questions, but I have kind of a curious question. Okay, I do hear this a lot, and sometimes even me and some students, we discuss this, and we're very curious. We're like, is it true that New Zealand have more sheep than people?
Oh my God, I knew you were going to say that. Yes, I think so.
I'm sorry, that's just a curious question.
So New Zealand is it's about the same size as the UK. The UK has 70 million people and New Zealand has 5 million people. So
Right.
outside of the big cities in New Zealand, it is quite agricultural, it is quite rural, and yes, you can see quite a lot of sheep and also cows. But you know, there's benefits to not having so many big cities and stuff. Did you know that no one in New Zealand lives more than a 90-minute drive to the beach?
I don't know that. No.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's pretty cool. So actually, where I am in the uni campus at the moment, I could be at the ocean in 10 minutes walk.
Wow.
So there's plus sides to not having so many people. You know?
Trust me, I'm getting a bit jealous here. So I would like to go to the beach now. But it's really nice. It's really nice to hear. I actually like the environment and how much New Zealand takes care of the environment, and also the environmental awareness as well that people have in New Zealand. It's quite renowned, globally renowned. Trust me, even here in Sweden, we know about this. So yeah,
It's actually pretty cool. I drove to the beach last weekend, and it was about an hour out of the city, and there was probably only 10 other people on the beach. So it's really cool. You really get to experience like nature and stuff while you're in New Zealand, and then drive back for an hour. You're back in the middle of the city centre, all the shops, cafes, restaurants. So I mean, I came to New Zealand for 1 year, and that was about 8 years ago, and I just never went back because I really loved have that kind of best of both worlds thing. Like,
nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I'm pretty happy for you that you stayed in New Zealand. I think New Zealand is awesome. Okay, so yeah, and I think our students as well, because that's why they're watching the episode today. They're interested in New Zealand. They want to come and study in New Zealand and probably work as well in New Zealand. So
we've been super lucky with the COVID-19 in New Zealand as well. Like it's we're basically COVID free at the moment. The way that our government reacted to the pandemic has, I think, been internationally recognized around the world. So we're super lucky that we basically had very, very minimal disruption. There's currently no community cases in New Zealand, so super lucky.
Nice. I'm really happy to hear that as well. And this comforts especially the parents when they hear about this, knowing that there are, in case you never know, in the future anything happens, there's a quick response from the government and the universities as well, because students come first, and the health of the students, of course. So yeah, it's I'm really happy, and I don't have any more questions unless you have a question for me, Sam.
No, I think I'm good.
Good. Nice. We're good. Awesome. So I think we can end our episode here. So thank you very much, Sam, for joining me today to have a coffee chat. I didn't drink as much coffee as I usually do, but I'm just going to take a final sip before probably do a cheers with you. So
sort of going through mine. So
yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it was really good to be able to talk to you and to share with you some more details about New Zealand and AUT.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. So let's say goodbye to our audience, and we'll be seeing you on the next episode, because we'll have more episodes rolling in the upcoming weeks. So stay tuned for those. So once again, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you, Sam. And we'll be seeing you on the next episode. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.